Subscribe to ABN Media Network and become part of our family and learn so many new things.
The Wise Bride, Part 3. He was telling her about his siblings' habits. "We're all more open and friendly with Dad than with Mom," he said with a smile. "She's a bit strict by nature, but don't let that worry you. We all know her moods. No one takes her words to heart. If she ever says something that bothers you, just let it go in one ear and out the other." Rameen looked at him in surprise. What kind of man tells his new bride on their wedding night to ignore his mother's words? Still, tonight wasn't for talking, it was for listening. She knew it would take time to adjust to this new family, to learn their ways. She couldn't claim to truly understand Faik yet, but his warmth and friendly tone already made her feel at ease. When Rameen woke up the next morning, it was already 9 o'clock. Faik was still fast asleep. She freshened up and tried gently to wake him a couple of times. He blinked open his sleepy eyes, glanced at the clock, and groaned. "Oh, come on, it's only 9:15. Everyone's probably still asleep. Go back to bed." He rolled over and went back to sleep. For Rameen, going back to sleep wasn't even an option. It was her first morning in her new home. Faik was in his own house. He didn't have to worry about first impressions. But Rameen felt it would look odd to stay in her room so late. No one had knocked yet, but after thinking for a moment, she quietly opened the door and stepped out. In the lounge, her mother-in-law, Nazma, was reading the newspaper. Hearing the sound of footsteps, she looked up, slightly startled. Rameen greeted her politely. The reply came, but without the warmth or traditional blessings usually offered to a new bride. So she really is a bit stern, Rameen thought to herself. Just then, her father-in-law, Shabir, entered. He was in his night clothes, clearly just awake, while Nazma looked fresh and put together. Rameen greeted him too, and as expected, he showered her with kind prayers. "Your mother called, dear," Nazma said, glancing at her. She wanted to send breakfast. Rameen's heart ached a little for her mother. After last night's long wedding, she must still be exhausted, yet she was already busy preparing breakfast for her daughter. Hara hadn't been feeling well the day before either. But Nazma's next words quickly changed that thought. "I told Sister Hara not to bother. She must be tired herself. And besides, no one here wakes up that early. The food would just get cold, and her effort would go to waste." Rameen nodded politely, agreeing outwardly, though the comment stung a little. Shabir frowned immediately. "Your logic is always upside down, Begum. Traditions exist for a reason. You don't understand what goes through the hearts of parents who've just sent their daughter away. They're restless, anxious, wanting to see her, even for a few minutes over breakfast. You deprived them of that comfort." He didn't hold back, even in front of the new bride. For a moment, Rameen's heart softened toward him. But seeing her mother-in-law's embarrassed face, she decided to support her instead. "It's all right, Uncle," she said gently. "Auntie did what she thought was best. I'll talk to my parents myself, and I'll see them tonight anyway." "Good girl," Shabir smiled warmly. "That's a wise thing to say. But one thing, I'm upset that you called me uncle. We brought you here as a daughter, not as a guest. From now on, call me Abu." Rameen was touched by his affection, but before she could reply, Nazma spoke up quietly. "Shabir Sahib, expecting her to start calling you Abu right away isn't fair. When a girl moves to a new home, it takes time to build those feelings. Whether she calls us Ami Abu or Auntie Uncle doesn't matter as long as there's respect and sincerity." It was the first time Rameen had heard her mother-in-law speak at such length, and she agreed with every word. It wasn't easy to suddenly see someone else as your parents. Even if she used the words Ami and Abu, they'd be just that, words, not feelings. But Shabir was the kind of man who seemed to disagree with his wife out of habit. There you go again with your philosophies, Begum. I'm a simple man. We brought her home as a daughter, so she'll call me Abu, whether you like it or not. You can keep calling yourself Auntie if you want. Rameen stood silently, unsure which side to take, deciding that staying quiet was safest. Are you hungry, dear? Should I make breakfast? Nazma asked, quickly changing the topic. Let her eat with Faik, Shabir interrupted. It's her first morning, make something special. You can't just give her an omelette. Faik won't wake up anytime soon, Abu. I'm already hungry, Rameen smiled. I'll have breakfast with you. Shabir's face lit up. That's my girl. All right then, Nazma said, softening a little. I'll make breakfast. Faik and the others never wake up before noon anyway. In the meantime, why don't you call your parents? Rameen nodded and went back to her room, but when she picked up her phone, it was dead. She'd asked her cousin to pack her charger but knew it had been forgotten in the rush. Looking around, she didn't see another one in the room, so she went back toward the kitchen to ask for help. She stopped halfway when she heard voices. Her in-laws were still in the lounge, unaware that she had returned. Their backs were to her. This girl seems a bit too sharp, Nazma Begum, Shabir's voice said. You'll see, she'll start showing her true colors soon enough. Rameen froze. The words hit her like a slap. Just moments ago, this man had called her his daughter. Now he was speaking about her with suspicion and mockery. At that moment, Rameen understood the real meaning of hypocrisy.